The caution, but they could, oh no, I've read that. But caution and restraint have their limits, and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo must be made aware that he is setting the nation on the warpath. We, the opposition, will not tolerate any repeat of the temper tantrums of a spoiled septuagenarian brat playing president. If it is knife fight he wants, we shall oblige him to the tilt. He and his cabal of amateurs know this too well and are right to be afraid. This is not a threat, it is a promise. To the Inspector General of Police and the leadership of the police service, who stood by idly as innocent Ghanaians were.
We'll bring you more of that later. But right now, let's delve into our conversation with our two guests in the studio. They've shared quite a lot on in their respective press statements. I want to refer to them individually. First, we'll begin with the statement that was issued by FOSDA, and I have it here, dated today. Actually, no, yesterday, the 1st of January. And among other things, the foundation calls on the Minister of the Interior, Mr. Ambrose Derry, to explain to Ghanaians what happened and the objective behind the heavy deployment of security forces, including the presence of what appeared to be strange masked security persons unknown to the security apparatus in official police vehicles. And there are many other issues raised here. Theodora, yeah. Talk to us about FOSDA and why yesterday was alarming for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kojo, and I'm very happy to be here. And good evening to your listeners. So FOSDA, as the name goes, is Foundation for Security and Development in Africa. We've been working in Ghana and West Africa for over the last 10 years. And we've been monitoring security issues. We've been working on educating the public on small arms proliferation and reducing small arms proliferation and promoting peace and security in Ghana and other West African countries. And one of the things we've also been doing is monitoring elections as part of our security mandate and promoting peace and security in Ghana. And so yesterday was quite alarming, like our statement said. This is like the first time we have seen so many security men at one police station. We are at East Legon, so like I drove in through East, and I was alarmed by the number of security cars, military men, policemen, and these so-called strange men.
Explain why, from a security point of view, that is not a good thing. You would have thought seeing lots of security means people are safer, right?
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
So why do you deploy security during elections? One is to ensure that there is safety, ensure that tensions are wielded down, ensure that people trust the system and are confident in the whole process and can come out and vote, ensure that there's a level playing ground for all the parties involved, and then all the parties trust the system and can function. And so when there is an excess in that, then it means that something is wrong, and whatever expectations we have of the security will be tempered with. And so that's why we're so worried, because as you can see, voter turnout was very low, because I wouldn't go out there to vote, and I don't think my mother would. When you have so many security, you think something is happening or something is going to happen. Why? Have they had something that we don't know about? Why would they deploy like 13 policemen or something to just a small, piece of land? And so it kind of scares the people and will not allow them to come out and vote. And so that's why it worries us. And so our worry is why, really? Why should the security agencies led by the Minister for Interior do such a thing? Right. We are waiting for answers, really, because we still don't have conclusive, apart from what the National Security Coordinator has come to say. We're still not satisfied with what they have said about the strange elements. We really want to know exactly why they deployed so many, and those men in brown, and those marksmen, and maybe that will give us some answers. But until we have those answers, we are very worried about now and the future.
Now, you also expressed some concern over what you described as the dwindling public confidence in the security forces. What's leading you to that conclusion?
So we know that in the last couple of months, the police and the security has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, either shooting people by mistake, or they have been in the news for all the wrong reasons. And we know that, we know that people are saying and are expressing their mistrust for the system now. I mean, that's something we are getting from our end. And we are hoping, we're really hoping that maybe this election or something else will come up to show up those trust and confidence in the police. But yesterday was a no. We condemn it in no uncertain terms, and it's further dwindles whatever trust, little left for the police and even for the security forces.
Right. Now, for your part, it's more about raising questions. But
yes.
Nesto and the Economic Fighters League are going a little bit further. You, first of all, connect this recent event to other cases of violent crimes, like the kidnapping, the rape, the killings, and you describe a general breakdown of security, which may be in the offing. And then you go further to say that this is a sham of democracy being practiced in Ghana. Very serious words there. You know, the entire system of political ideology and belief that Ghanaians hold themselves up by is democracy. You suggest it's a sham. And then you go further to say that you are encouraging Ghanaians to be courageous in tackling the root of violence, which is the 1992 Constitution. So you are blaming the Constitution for what we saw yesterday.
Absolutely, Kwejo. And good evening to you and to your wonderful viewers. I think it's important to confront this conversation with all the honesty that we need to master. And let's face it, we don't have a democracy. What we have is a jungle with a violent constitution that was born by the gun. And that's why you have a situation where the police would come out to, show bravado that, yes, we are there. They pride themselves in the violence they inflict on citizens. That's why you would hear Nanado as a candidate say that they boast about that. That's why you would hear former President Mahama in his concocted view of what a revolution is, and identifying or trying to align it with violence, and saying that they are the most violent political party, that this country, has. So you have a chaotic situation, and we cannot be talking about our love for peace when we aren't directing it at the 1992 Constitution and the need for that document to be liquidated in our lifetime. For us at the Economic Fighters League, we are very clear in our minds that so long as you have the 1992 Constitution in existence, the people of Ghana will continue to feel insecure. Now, 2020 is looking very bleak from all the utterances so far and all of that. This is a total fake democracy. You went to the press conference being called by the so-called opposition parties. They are all surrogates of the MPP and DC. I have a background with the Convention People's Party, where I was a leader of the youth wing, and I thought that we need to fight corruption. We need to take the battle to power. Now, we took the former president to Sraj when one of your journalists in this house, Manasi Azuri, unveiled an investigative piece that showed that he had taken a car bribe from a Burkinabe contractor. This is something that should have excited my party folks, but you know what they did? they sacked me. If I was the youth leader of the MPP and I took President Mahama to charge, would I be sacked? No serious political party would do that.
So I mean, Ernesto, let me ask you this. If you think the entire democratic structure of this country is a sham, what in God's name is the solution if the problem is the Constitution?
Well, that's why we are talking about it. It begins with talking about it and then mobilizing. And as far back as President Mills's era, we submitted a petition to the Constitutional Review Commission. And we asked them that the 1992 Constitution cannot claim to be democratic when it still houses indemnity clauses. Because by the indemnity, what you are simply saying is that all of us are not equal before the law.
Right.
So this in itself is an aberration of basic universal democratic tenets. Right. And our constitution is in total violation of that. Prof. Safianyo told us that removing the indemnity clause from the 1992 constitution would mean that Ghana would have to return to its original constitution. Now, what is wrong with Ghana returning to its original constitution?
I have a feeling this is perhaps just the beginning of a conversation we need to make a lot more time for.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm told we have about a minute left, so I'll split it between the two of you, 30 seconds each. Do you have any confidence that the authorities can bring some justice to those who were shot and injured yesterday?
Well, from a civil society point of view, I don't think they are interested in bringing justice. And so it's up to us as a people to demand for it, work for it, and that's what we really have to do.
So you would support a demonstration like what is being
planned?
Well, not
a demonstration at the first instance. Dialogue, writing, using the media as much as possible, putting pressure and all that. And I think that's what we need to do as civil society. Other than that, I don't see any justice coming to anybody.
Right. Ernesto?
Well, I think that we need to deepen this conversation on the constitution that we have, because it is the source of everything. It's like our lights goes off here and you are thinking about the switch. We have to go to the meter, we have to go to the transformer, and that is precisely what we are advocating for.
Wonderful. Ernesto Yeboah and Theodora Enti, thank you both for your time. Thank you for watching.